I'd like to apologize to everyone who has subscribed to me or who has given me a like, a comment, or even just a view. Thank you so much. I am so sorry for not updating and not uploading for the past 2 months. I've just had a very, very busy time. For starters, I started university. Yay! And everything is online. And that has been a really hard adjustment for me to make. I mean, for everyone to make. But my mental health is not a huge fan of online learning. I moved to Toronto, which is one of the biggest hotspots for COVID in my country right now, and then I moved back a month later for personal reasons. I spilled coffee on my laptop, which was great. It now means that I can't use my keyboard on my laptop, especially not being able to hit keys that I know by muscle memory is going to be really hard to edit to. So it's going to take a little bit of time. It's October 21st today. This video hopefully comes out mid-November. If not, oh my god, I'm so sorry. But like, I'm trying my best. There's a lot of midterms coming up right now and I have a test in 4 days. I have a lecture in a half hour that I need to attend. As much as I realize the privilege of me being able to attend university, especially with my province paying for it, oh boy, it's been a trip and a half. Anyways, life update. A lot of crap's been happening. And I'm so sorry for not being able to post any videos during it. If you follow my Instagram, which you can find here, I try to post a little bit more often on there. I try to post like every once or twice I go skating. If I remember to take videos, which I have forgotten a lot in the past. We hit 100 subscribers and we're at like, I think 130 right now. Thank you guys so much for that. I don't know what to think. I know like 130 seems like a small number to especially like people with millions, but I don't know. I didn't expect more than like 30 people to subscribe, ever. Anyways, thank you everyone. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for the people who have been correcting my posture in the comments. I really appreciate that because, and I need to talk about this more often, I don't take professional lessons. I'm entirely self-taught, so I don't actually have many pointers on how to like make sure that posture is correct. So I really appreciate those who have been super nice to me, those who have been giving me tips, and literally everyone. Thank you guys so, so much. So this year has been very interesting in rink closures, and a lot of you guys especially have been getting inline skates to tide you over from ice time to ice time. Personally, I have not been on the ice for 6 months until last week. And that is a really tough change, especially personally. I've been skating almost every day on inlines for months and months and months, and you get really used to having wheels instead of blades, and the shift can be really hard. So I wanted to share with you guys my experience in the first 4 hours of being back on the ice. For like 6 months off the ice. So I just got back from my first time on the ice in 6 months. I filmed some of it, but I made a fool of myself a fair bit. which I will talk about when I am not in the car, but I do want to share that I was pleasantly surprised by the end. I did get most of it back, which is good. Yeah. My edges were cleaner, but that just has to do more with the fact that blades are easier to do edges than with wheels. That made sense. I'll be more succinct and make sense later. It's fine. It was really tough. The first 5 minutes on the ice were very embarrassing. Oh boy. Well, I fell a lot. It just kind of felt like my legs forgot the mechanics of how to skate on ice. So like the first 5-10 minutes was quite miserable. But I did get used to it eventually, and you know, everyone will. One of the things that I had to deal with is that my ice skates weren't broken in by the time that I restarted getting on the ice. So right before rinks closed, like 2 sessions before rinks closed, I got essentially new skates, and I had to deal with that, and I completely forgot about that personally. So like the first 20 minutes on the ice, my ankles were dying. Especially if you've seen my videos, you know that my inline skates, the boots have broken down completely, and I really shouldn't be skating in them. I really wasn't used to having so much ankle support, and at this point I'm not even tying up my skates through all the notches because I can't bend my knees properly if I tie them up fully. So that was an interesting change that I assume not too many people have to deal with. But here are some things that I noticed. The first hour, spinning was tough, man. Spinning was so hard. Obviously, when you spin on wheels, and I've talked about this before in this video, your weight is going to be over your front wheel and your toe stop. And that is not the case when you're in ice skates. So that was a really tough change. But to be fair, I did get used to it within an hour or so. One of the things that I noticed was that I pushed really hard into my spins. Because there's so much friction with the ground when you're spinning on inlines, my body naturally wanted to do the same thing on ice, and I had a lot of really out of control spins, especially for like the first half hour or so. You can see that all my spins are disastrous because of how much I am putting my weight and my like power through into my spin. So that is something to really look out for. Some of these issues you can also kind of resolve a little bit if you have a spin board or a ballet board to kind of reacquaint yourself with the lack of friction that you have when you're on the ice. My edges were way cleaner, and I was so happy because my single foot slaloms were just, they were so good. I was so happy, and I don't have footage of it. I'll try to take some footage next time I'm on the ice, but whew, they were like so good. And I think part of it is that I've gotten so used to having to work a lot harder on inlines to get really nice smooth edges. Being able to lean into the edges felt a lot easier and a lot more natural, and that took almost no adjusting at all, which was really cool. Another thing I noticed is that my twizzles were way better, and I think that has to do with the fact that when you're doing twizzles off ice, or when you're doing twizzles on inlines, you have to exaggerate your weight transfer, and that habit, I guess, kind of carried over onto the ice. So at first it was like a little too much, but after a little while I got it to the point where I adjusted so that it's just enough to get a half decent twizzle. I'm not saying I'm good at twizzles, I can do them now. I've never really had much luck with spirals on the ice, and after this summer, for some reason, I have good spirals for my standards. Not for anyone else's standards, but for my standards. They're really good, and I'm very happy about that. And getting back onto the ice is like really tough because of everything you have to readjust, but there are some like silver linings. There are some things that you will have improved on without noticing. And I think it's really important to look forward to those kinds of unforeseen improvements because they're just so satisfying. They make you feel like you haven't just wasted the last 6 months. I think one of the huge differences between inline skaters and normal just ice skaters getting back onto the ice after quarantine is the fact that you've made a lot of habits that are not compatible with the ice. Everything from how you stop, to how you spin, to how you do spirals, and how you do 3 turns. They're all different, just slightly, but just enough that you're gonna have a bit of a hard time like the first hour or 2 back onto the ice. I made this video to tell you guys, don't worry, take a deep breath, everything's gonna be alright. In terms of skating, you know, it takes a couple hours, but yes, you'll get everything back. I thought I lost my Ina Bauer, but I didn't. I got it back. I don't remember how to get out of it. That's an issue I'll resolve later. You'll get everything back. It's gonna be okay. It'll take a little bit of time, but it's gonna be okay. Winter is coming, and I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to put out many inline skating videos. Hopefully I can do one on how to skate in like a really small space like your bedroom. Hopefully I can put one out about wheel replacement and how to rotate your wheels. I'd really love to make videos sooner or later talking about some of the topics that we don't talk about as much in figure skating and in inline skating circles. Trans athletes, I'd love to talk about self-taught skaters, and some other things that, you know, people aren't as willing to talk about. Shameless plug, follow my Instagram because I post a lot more often on there, and I'll try to reach out to you guys on there a lot more often. Let me know if you have an idea for a topic that we can talk about down below, and I'll see you soon, hopefully.